Ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues and listeners, here we are again at the Airfreight Pharma digital event, and it's all about essential transport for an essential industry. And today's guest and company most definitely fall into that category very, very easily. And the guest I'm talking about is Tijmen Koster, the CEO of Trip Co and Good Cape Cargo Covers. So Tijmen, lovely to have you on board, sir. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to be here.
Good man. You're looking well, my friend. You're looking well. So listen, I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit by just going through a little bit of a bio. So I've been told that you've got a defined skill for constantly developing processes and technologies, along with the responsibility for overall management and growing the strategy and market presence and Trip Co Group, and also overseeing the leading EASA production organization with a wide range of certified ULD solutions produced in Europe, China, and the USA. You've got a long history of working with professionals and developing in-depth industry knowledge. And one of the models that I'm so looking forward to talking to you about of how it came about and where it's going is the cargo seat bag. I love it. So firstly, you've got a long history behind you in the company, I believe from 1890.
Yeah, well, the company, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. You don't look that old, my friend.
Okay. So as you said, I'm in for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And the team is great. We're doing an excellent job, and we have been growing steadily for the last 10 years. Started only in the Netherlands, and now around the world. Thanks to our customers, of course, and my team. Yeah.
Yep. Brilliant. Right now, everybody knows what an incredible time we've had over the last 18 months or so. Yeah. But looking at it from a positive perspective, it's taught the whole industry an awful lot. It's taught the whole world as to what supply chain really is and who the key parties are in it. And it's opened their eyes incredibly. So it's put us all on a great pedestal to which we've got to act accordingly. But what it's also done is it's sped up automation, data sharing, and so many other things by at least a decade, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So if I may, can you just tell me now about the positive experiences, whether they be challenges, successes, or just general things that you've fallen into as a result of this last 18 months?
Well, I think we had almost everything in 2020. It was absolutely also challenging. Of course, a lot of the capacity was gone, and a huge imbalance of assets as a result. And again, challenging. The demands from our customer changed from let's say from thousands of straps per day to almost nothing. So we had to change, and that's what we did. But there were also challenges, for example, with the vaccine in transporting the vaccine in the cabin. So we are now in areas where we never been before. Our customers ask us for solutions to ship cargo in the cabin, and we developed the cargo seat bag.
Yeah.
A bag which is used to transport cargo on the seats in the cabin. A great innovation. I have to say, production-wise, we did a great job, but from a certification perspective, it was very challenging, but we did it. So we helped a lot of our customers, airlines, forward by transporting products in the cabin, and we learned a lot. So yeah,
I think it was Kester Meyer who he first showed me that, and it was fantastic. And what I said to him was, I said, you imagine now, after what everybody's learned, you imagine now getting onto an aircraft, and then, and I'm being realistic now, and seeing them, whether they be in the middle of the cabin, at the end, at the back of the cabin, or whatever, And having the cabin address tell you that you are now not only flying to your destination, whether it be for business or vacation, but you are also part of providing hope to so many, because there's now specialist cargo options for carrying vaccine amongst passengers. I just think it would be such a privilege to fly with that in cabin in the future. So if there's X amount of seats or capacity isn't as optimum as people would like, it's almost like a monsterized combi type aircraft from the old days, but having something that's acceptable inside the cabin without any problems for customers or crew.
Yeah, and we are developing this product still, and it's getting better and better, using the feedback from our customers around the world. I mean, every airline is working a little bit different.
Yeah, as they do.
Yeah, and we have to deal with all the local authorities, of course. But it works. Yeah, and I think we're going to see this product for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope so. I hope so, because I think it's when I first seen it, it reminded me of the old the old West, where you've got the old saddlebags, Yeah. And you can throw things together, but they looked so perfect and so easy to affix, easy to remove, easy to transport. It looked fantastic.
We really use the knowledge and we have from ground handling and cargo, and so we are producing also TSO articles in Trip Co, so straps and nets.
Yeah.
And we combine that with our passive thermal insulation knowledge from the thermal blankets.
Yeah.
With a little bit of fire containment solutions and the new cabin market, and it works. Yeah,
no, it's fantastic. Now, you mentioned there about straps and nets, etc. One of the things that I think people are starting to appreciate more now as well, as a result of risk, as a result of seeing what's happening, is quality and standards. So important, and I think that's going to be ever more present now moving forward, whether it's quality and standards of competence, compliance, controls. There's going to be a lot more focus on it, and whether it be on your side of the business or on the actual cargo itself, the differentials between value and volume products. Okay, and if people have quality, it works time and time again. Now, are you finding almost like an accountability or a responsibility from procurement and from the employees and the teams themselves, that when they see good products, that's what they want? They don't want substandard products.
No, yeah, exactly. If we are looking to the ULD equipment, using certified products are extremely important, and we were just talking about it prior to the show. It took a very long time, but now step by step it's accepted, and we see more and more ground handling facilities know what TSO articles are, what is a Form 1, and we are using this knowledge to develop other products which are even important. We are here and we're going to talk about pharma, valuable products, and we are using that system and those procedures to produce articles in the same way, and it works. Yeah.
No, definitely. Now, another thing that I found as well is if you look at organizations like Mitigate, who look at lane risk for pharma, and they're supported by the pharmaceutical community themselves, they're taking a much more vested interest now in upstream influence and controls as to who looks after their products, because at the end of the day, IATA quoted a figure back in 2019 of 20% excursions from air cargo, which is far too high. So people are now looking at who is being used and why and how, which is also very, very good for the industry. Now, as far as the vaccine and other pharma packaging, and we're mainly talking about passive solutions, the technology and the products that are now going into that are improving all the time.
Yeah, The funny thing is we developed the first generation of thermal covers 30 years ago with KLM. So we are doing this already for quite a long time. And yes, a lot have changed. So we see new developments of bright white non-woven systems, pure aluminium multi-cores, phase change materials. So yeah, we can do more and more. And we are getting better and better, but super important is sharing information. Where are the problems? And with getting the information also from our customers, we can tailor our products better and make steps.
Yeah.
Continue developing the best products in the world. Yeah, so sharing information. Where are the covers? Where are the problems? And then if we then sharing the information, we can also focus more easily on, for example, reusing the covers.
Yep.
Recycle them. We have these procedures and facilities around the world. The solution is already there, but yeah, we have to do it more. And
I think in the past, and I've done many audits and visits and trying to set standards within contracts and also show people how they can save money by taking responsibility for understanding costs. And I think now the sustainability pressure is going to make people start to look at that, whereas in the past they looked at it more as a convenience or as a extra effort and they didn't bother. I think now they're going to have to, and every single step they take, every single piece of equipment that's reused makes the difference.
Absolutely. The procedures are there, the knowledge is there, and you can also save a lot of money.
Yep.
It's not that difficult anymore. The track and trace possibilities are there. There's a QR code, so you can exactly see when it's made, who touched it, where it's coming from, and also from a quality perspective, everything is already arranged.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you, if you were brought into a group of companies and they asked you for specific solutions and you were able to tell them how things have developed, if you look at the length of time now, okay, for lots of pharmaceutical products and also the clearance at the other end, whether it be FDA or customs or whatever, some people think that the time takes too long and then they worry about the type of packaging. But when the pharmaceutical companies do their risk assessment, as does the forwarder, as does the carrier, once that's all in place, they then choose the best packaging. Now, if the packaging is chosen correctly, even with the worst excursion, it should still satisfy the requirements for that period of time, unless it requires an active unit and re-icing, correct?
I don't know. No. That's another thing. I mean, it's a fact that let's say the packaging is going to be transported in the airplane, and the packaging itself has been tested and it works. But the packaging is going to meet our other products, straps, nets, ULD equipment, and they have to work together. And if you are not using the knowledge of those two together, then it could be that, for example, a strap or a net will damage the packaging solution.
Yes.
And then it's not going to do where it's designed for.
Exactly.
Again, it's about sharing information. What kind of products do I use? What is the airline using? And let's bring that together. For our company, it's maybe a little bit easier because we are producing both. So we have the knowledge about straps. We have the knowledge about nets, pallets, containers. And we have the knowledge about thermal covers. So if we are designing a product, we will make sure that they're working together. But that's not that easy. But extremely important. And I think that's one of the reasons that we see some problems.
Yes, yeah, indeed. Now, now, obviously, looking at the requirements, and when everything kicked off with the vaccines, people were talking about how many thousands of freighters were going to be needed, and how many vaccines were going to be in each file, and all the different simulations. And then, like always, there's a little bit of calming, and then there's a little bit of data. And as soon as that data starts to materialize, people then can start to look at things realistically. Yeah. Now, with yourselves, and you've seen certain innovations like the seat bag. What are the next generation of innovations or technology that you're looking at?
Well, we see a lot. We saw a lot of developments the last year. It's more about efficiency. Again, sharing information, reuse and recycle, and using the proper methods, the proper products at the right moment. And that's going to be the most important. At the same time, sharing information from the different authorities. We were talking about ULD equipment. Well, we see local authorities focusing on flammability, for example. Well, we have to combine these standards into the thermal packaging solutions as well. So I think we're going to see more information being shared between the different, let's say, markets.
Yeah,
and they will come together, and we will see better products using all this information. Or let's say that's what we are doing and aiming for.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, if we come to some of the specialist products you got, like obviously the Good Cape thermal cover, and another one that I really like is your cargo chaperone. The title for that for the tracking, I think that's great. Yeah.
Tracking is of course something we see more and more. It was quite difficult in the past, but hey, so you need to do some homework before you can use track and trace devices into an airplane. But again, it helps by generating data. So and that's what we do quite often, analyzing the lanes by using track and trace, temperature logging, but also movement, humidity. And with that information, you can see better and better where the problems are or the challenges are.
Yeah.
And we can and then we can challenge those peaks easily, because you know what you can expect. And that's what the cargo chaperone is doing. And we are using that knowledge into our designs, and then standardize it.
Yeah, and it also you mentioned there in the statement that tracking isn't just putting a tracker on a piece of cargo, etc. You have to take into account what happens during flight, what happens, with the battery, all these different requirements that step into a different environment of regulation or restrictions, etc. So your flight save automatic airplane mode, so a little bit like the telephones. I mean, things like that most people don't take into account.
No, it's it was one of the most difficult products to develop, the cargo chaperone, because it was not like it was not a standard, let's say, ULD device. We had to really discuss this with EASA, with the authorities, and see how to do it. And it also, it wasn't working from the beginning. But we see that constantly. That's also what we saw with the fire containment cover we developed. It's let's say a cover protecting against fires.
Yeah.
It's a long process of developing with our customers. Yeah.
Tijmen, another product that we've got to cover, because it does so much good, which is the Good Cape thermal cover.
Yeah.
And the blankets. So I mean, what they've done now and the options that they're giving, and as far as mitigation, when people do their lane risk and they do their own risk assessments, I mean, it helps so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, as I told you, we started with the first blanket thermal cover 30 years ago, and we have like roughly, I think, 10 standard types, from really lightweight, breathable solutions used not only in pharma, but for example with flowers, to really extreme ones which can protect over 70 hours combined with phase change material.
Yeah.
And spectacular. But still, the most used is our Good Cape standard.
Yep. It's excellent. And they also cover from frozen to chilled, and also the controlled ambient levels, correct?
Yeah. Basically, it's all about insulation value and radiation. What type of radiation can you expect? Is it solar radiation and the frequency of that radiation, or is it coming from the tarmac? Well, if you have that knowledge and you know where the problems are, you can choose the proper solution and protect your goods against tarmac heat, solar radiation, or other threats. And we can even combine them with a theft system, so make them stronger. You cannot get in.
Yes.
Or, let's say more pharmaceutical articles which have a marketing value as well.
Yes. So from the security perspective.
Yeah. So it's eliminating the different specifications. To the needs of our customers.
And that's so important now, because, like you said, certain pharmaceuticals have got a very high value.
Extremely high value.
And that temptation.
Exactly. And at a certain moment, they have to choose between. I mean, active systems are also, of course, very good, and we work together with them.
Yeah, of course.
But you are depending on energy.
Yeah.
And at a certain level, maybe you don't want to depend on an energy source.
Correct.
Because that's maybe even safer.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to make sure it works together with the ULD equipment, the straps, the nets, etc. But what did we do? We started our production years ago, only in the Netherlands, but by setting a standard with our customers, and we set up production locations around the world, so our customers have one type around the world. And so they don't have to worry about, okay, I'm now in, well, I'm there and we don't have a good supplier, or we have a supplier with a different specifications. No, everything is standard, and it makes it easier to collect data again and compare it.
Yeah.
Because you know that the blankets are everywhere the same.
Yeah. No, I think that's one thing that hopefully everybody will learn, is that, if you make things simpler and more compliant, you've got more control. And if you've got more control, you've got more consistency, which gives you more quality, which gives you what the consumer wants. And at the end of the day, that's what everything is focused around. Yeah. And so important. Now, as far as looking back now over those 18 months, what would you say have been your biggest successes as a company?
Well, I have to say, I mean, it's a quite strange moment now, because in 2020 we saw strap volumes going down, and we had to focus on the development of the cargo seat bag. And now in October 21, it's crazy. It's crazy. All volumes are extremely high. All our production locations are on 100% or even more. Challenging times also. But we're doing very good. But looking back, I'm maybe extra proud on the cargo seat bag, where we used all the knowledge of our company and and designed this product in a record time. And we did this, of course, with the help of a couple of airlines, but in 1 month, we arranged the certification, the production, and we had this product in the air, and that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm really proud that we did that.
Yeah. No, it just goes to show, doesn't it, when people have got their backs against the wall, how creative, innovative, and how technically gifted people can be to come up with a solution. And sometimes it makes you think, why aren't we always working at that sort of speed and that sort of pressure?
Exactly. Well, on the other side, I'm not sure if I want to do that year in, year out with that pressure. But you are right. I mean, the developments, efficiency, procedures which we were using for many years have been changed, and they're working better. But also at our customers. So a lot of good things as well.
No, 100%. And like where you've got distribution points and production points, as we said at the beginning, obviously in Europe, China, and the US. I know you're finding now that everybody is working to the same standard across the board.
So from a ULD perspective, or let's say ULD equipment, producing ULD equipment is helping us. So the good thing is we are partnering also a lot with our airline customers around the world. So yes, we have a couple of production organizations, but because we are supplying the airlines, ground handling facilities, but also the end customers, the pharmaceutical companies, we can use our customers, our partners, and their facilities. Stocking, checks, even for repair. We use repair facilities, which we see in ULD world. And so we are using that technology, those procedures in the thermal blanket market, and it makes us extremely flexible around the world, thanks to ULD equipment.
And are you finding airports taking more of an interest now in in what goes on their ground, shall we say, within their ecosystem? Who's doing what? Who's got the capabilities, so that their airports get a much better reputation and cargo focus?
I definitely see that. We see that ground handling facilities are doing much better, or let's say they are developing, they are getting more knowledge about the products they are using. And again, sharing information. Airlines are not only focusing on let's say the cost per kilo, but also on quality. They're making better arrangements with all those stakeholders, involving the suppliers as well, extremely important. Resulting in better quality overall. But there's a lot to do.
But it's definitely going in the right direction. And they always say, you should never waste a good crisis, but making it matter and bringing back better is definitely a couple of slogans that are worthwhile focusing on with all organizations. Now, Tijmen, what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you one last challenge. Okay, if you now had a magic wand and you could do anything to make the industry better within the next 3 to 9 months as a result of your idea or your area of focus, what would that be? Something that would make a huge high impact on the business, and you had the freedom, whether it be anonymous or whether it be open, that it was you who was the one who instigated that change. What would it be?
Wow, Chris, that's a good one. No, I think simple. Share knowledge and share information with each other, and just do it, because that it works.
Yeah.
It works. It makes the products better. It makes the procedures better. People like it as well. Sharing information. So share knowledge, share information, and just do it.
Yeah, and it's funny. A couple of boosts there for old Nike, but it's strange. It's strange what you also said. People do like it, don't they?
Oh yeah.
People love to learn.
Yeah, especially if we are using the information.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the opposite is also true. I mean, if you're sharing information and nothing is happening, that can be annoying. So yeah, there's another thing we have to use it.
No, I 100% agree, and that's why, make it matter. If somebody's good enough to give you data or information or support you, and it makes sense, then the least you can do, respectfully and credibility wise, is put it into practice as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And endorse it.
Yeah.
And endorse it. Well, listen, my friend, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on board. Well done for what you're doing, because you're one of the many heroes in the supply chain that's made things matter, made things different, and made things work. So well done to you, all of your team, and all of your production guys. Absolutely fantastic.
Chris, it was an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And let's do it again soon.
Yes, and hopefully face to face somewhere.
Good idea. Yeah,
that's coming.
I'm coming. Yeah, or you can come to the Netherlands.
Yeah, happy. Always love it over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Always. I always love going there, because we've got similar senses of humour, and we seem to get on well. And then football, I've always enjoyed playing football over there, which I've done many times. Apart from sometimes they're a little bit too tall.
Yeah.
You've got a wonderful gene. Yeah.
No, let's play some football. No problem.
Yes, be good. Yeah. All
Okay.
right, my friend. Listen, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, and speak to you soon, Chris.